If any of you are looking for something to spice up your meal prep, you have got to check out Green Chef, especially if you're someone like me that you enjoy making food. You enjoy making dinner, whether it's for yourself or for your family. You just enjoy it. Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company. Green Chef makes eating well easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. Green Chef offers a range of recipes to suit your preference. Go to greenchef.com/reps599 and use the code REPS599 to get $5.99 per meal on your first box. And your first box ships free. Go to greenchef.com/reps599 and use the code REPS599 to get $5.99 per meal on your first box. And your first box ships free. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Between the Reps with Brooke and Jeanna and Devon.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, our people.
Back to our conversation. Devon, what did you get? You went to the doctor.
Yeah, I finally went to urgent care on Friday and I had bronchitis and a sinus infection.
Oh, wow.
Understandable.
So I got some steroids and antibiotics.
You feel better?
Yeah, I'm starting to. Man, those Tennessee viruses don't mess around.
No, man, they party hard.
They do. Those are some Midwest strong viruses.
And they're built different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just remember coming home and I was like, man, I just run down. Like, I thought it was just, being out late 3 nights in a row, drinking. So I was like, oh, I'll be fine. So I went to my kids' Halloween party. I got home at like 2, went to their Halloween party, and I just sat on a couch with a blanket, like, oh, this isn't good. Like, didn't party. Came home, felt decent Sunday. Monday, just threw up all day.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And I was like, great. I wonder how many people I exposed that to.
Oh, man.
No one else came down sick.
Well,
but everyone else has this sinusy shit.
Just for a little recap, and I'll tell you how I feel. We went to Nashville. If you guys remember, we went and saw the Judds concert and it was amazing.
Oh, best concert I think I've ever been to.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
So right before the trip, my schedule changed quite a bit. So I had to huge audible. We flew in Wednesday. The concert was on Friday. We all got there. Well, me and my mom got there first. We got there at 10 p.m. And then Devon got in and Gina's flight went to, I was trying to figure out why the hell you went from Sanford. Did you fly to San Jose?
Yeah, San Jose.
San Jose to Seattle to Nashville. So Gina's flight got delayed and she didn't get until 2 a.m.
Yeah, it was 2:30.
But we got
and the whole point is that I was not checking the bag, so it'd be easy. Mm-hmm. And then they made me check it. So even if I had gotten on another flight, they said, oh, we can maybe get you on another flight. But I was like, well, my bag's not going to get there until 2 something anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to leave Thursday night. So we got there all late Wednesday. Gina got there Thursday morning, really early. And I spent the day Thursday walking around shopping a little bit with my mom. And then we got lunch, me, Jeanna, and Devon and my mom. And then they stayed out, they were sightseeing, listening to music. And then I went to the airport.
Well, it was also Devon's birthday.
Yeah. And it was Devon's birthday on Thursday. Yeah. So I went to the airport. I flew to Austin, Texas. I was supposed to be doing some commentating and some stuff at the Prairie Fire Rank, which is a shooting competition. And it's a newer, it's not new, but it's newer. And what they're doing with it is really cool. So I had the opportunity to work more closely with the company called Staccato Pistols. And so I went out for work and flew back Friday night. They went to the concert and I got to watch the last hour of it. I roll in. I'm sorry. I get in. They're having the time of their life, but my mom has also just been crying the whole time. And it was if you guys don't follow the Jeds, then this really won't mean much to you. But if you do, or, they're the soundtrack to your youth or whatever, Naomi Jed,
The mother.
but I was going to say she passed away, but she actually committed suicide. But she passed away shortly after they announced their tour. And so there's just a lot of stuff there, it was very nostalgic for Jeanna, my mom. It was really, really fun. And then me and my mom went on to Kentucky Saturday morning because for me to go and do some work, they actually got me 2 tickets to the Judd's final concert in Lexington. So I got to see the full concert. I got to see the full concert, and I got to see the last hour twice, but it was different because there was different people performing with them. So when Jeanna and the first concert in Nashville, it was Winona Judd and Martina McBride and Trisha Yearwood. And then
her sister was there.
Yeah. And her sister was there. Yeah. She came. I think she must have gone to all of them because she was at the next one too. So
I don't think she did, because I was talking to somebody who'd went and seen her recently in Texas, and Ashley wasn't there.
Maybe it was because
that area,
Kentucky is where they're from. Maybe that's why. So in Lexington, it was really cool because that's where they're from. They went to school there, and in the middle of the concert, they actually, in the arena we were in, someone came out and they put a big banner up with the Judds up in the top of the arena with like all the different, like the sporting events and like all these big monumental things have happened like the year, and they put a banner up for the Judds. But like 5 days leading up to this trip, I was just so tired, like run down, just so tired, really irritating. And like, for me, it's like my hormones, right? I'm like, come on. Like just when I think I started to feel better, I was so tired. And then when I left Thursday to go to Austin, I didn't feel great. I felt like I kind of had like I had to clear my throat. Right. Mm-hmm. And I didn't feel sick. Now hindsight, I did feel sick, but in the moment I was just leading up to that. I was really tired, run down, and I've had a year of not feeling 100%. So it's like, oh, just,
that's just how I feel.
And, when I was going there, I didn't feel great. And then we got back, and my mom and myself Saturday driving, I didn't feel great either. But when we woke up to fly home on Sunday, both of us were like, when you wake up in the morning and your whole chest cavity and your throat feels dry, it feels like a big, big, giant, empty space of desert.
And you're like just a dry sponge.
Yeah. And then it was just the roughest day and travel home. And we got home, and I've pretty much been in bed ever since. So Halloween, because that was that Monday.
Yeah.
I spent all day in bed, and then it's Halloween. So the kids are coming over, like my family. So I'm coming down and seeing people, and then
just super spreader.
I was a super spreader.
We got all the kids into a room, and then I just came down and played with all of them. Happy Halloween.
I didn't play. Dude, I'm getting hot.
I know, I'm too. Hot flashing over here.
Anyways, I just have been sick, and it's been a weird feeling, because then I check with Jeanna and Dev, and Jeanna feels pretty shitty. And she kind of explained it like, she had some events leading up to it, and then just nights out. Anytime you're out late and, weather changing.
Oh yeah. 2:30 in the morning. And then, it's like, and then Devon and I got up at like 4. We went to bed at like 1:30, and then got back up at like 4:30. I was like, I'm just done from lack of sleep.
And then for me, it was like pure, I think just being run, because I wasn't up super late every night. I wasn't out drinking on the go. But then I really think I started getting sick before we even left, because those days leading up for me, I was like, there's no reason for this. That's what's even more irritating, because I didn't feel sick.
Yeah.
Tired. I'm like, what is wrong with me? And dude, I can't even catch my breath.
Why is it saying my internet is unstable?
That's my health.
You spread into my internet.
I did. Anyways, I'm still sick.
Got nervous.
Oh, Devon ended up with bronchitis and a sinus infection. My mom hasn't felt great, but I remember not because the day Tuesday, I'm feeling like absolute dog shit. And at this, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, I was like, I need to exercise. Oh my thing. Because those they left, I was exhausted. And then we were gone, couldn't do anything. And so I went down in the gym and Wednesday, and I'm just going to walk on. I thought I was going to go for a walk outside, but it was actually really cold outside. So I'm like, I'm just going to go on my true form and I'm just going to do some walking on it and do something and set the timer. So I decided, okay, I'm looking at myself. I'm like, all right, you got to do a lot, but you can't. So I'm literally looking at myself being like, all right, what I haven't exercised in forever. Like what needs some tightening? All right. My butt, my legs, my arms, literally everything. So I got on the true form and I was like, okay, I'm going to walk for 2 minutes and then I'm going to jog, like really like a real jog, nothing crazy. Just like pick my feet up faster for 1 minute. And then I'm going to run for 30 seconds and I'm going to do that. And then I got off and did a little triplet of lower body and then nothing crazy. And then got back on the runner, do it again, walk for 2 minutes. So I tried to build it out so I could do like an active recovery after each thing. So I was trying not to overexert myself.
Right.
3 rounds of this. Okay. So I did the run, the walk, jog, run, upper body, walk, jog, run, lower body or whatever. I did that 3 times. I about quit after the second time and I rested in between. I mean, I hunched over, sitting down, lightheaded. Like, am I going to pass out? Am I dying? Am I floating? It was awful. And then I thought, okay, I didn't feel great. So I took a couple of days of not doing anything. And I thought I started to feel better. I was like, oh yeah, I felt better. So I'm going to rest this whole day and not push it. And I'll work out tomorrow morning. So I did that. And then I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh my God, I feel worse.
Yeah. You shouldn't have been doing any of that.
I felt way worse.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, I've been sick now for like 2 weeks and it absolutely blows. It sucks.
Yeah, nobody likes being sick.
No.
I mean, nobody that I know.
No.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. I know. I tried to do like weighted step ups like on Tuesday and I was like, whoa, like, can't do that.
Dude, I remember when I got sick, like right in the beginning of COVID, I was sick for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like on the couch, couldn't move. And I was in the middle of training because I had accepted the invitation to compete at the.
Oh yeah. What was that?
It was the California, it was like
West
an invitational, the West Coast Classic.
Yeah.
And I remember telling my coach, I was like, Nick, I'm so sick. And so I didn't do anything. And I remember one of the first days I was I was feeling better, right? Feeling better. And so I went to the gym. I went to West and I got on the bike and I just rode the bike, like a warm-up pace for like 5 minutes. And I was like, nope. And then I got back in my car and drove home. I was sick.
Yeah. It's important to listen to your body when you're feeling like that. I think that's the problem is that you're, like you said, it's like when you're used to feeling like that, you keep telling yourself like, well, no, but I still need to like, have a life, do something.
Yeah. Like I come downstairs.
I still need to live.
I come downstairs and my mom also feels like crap. But she's doing stuff and she's telling me, she's like, you gotta get yourself up and you gotta go and do something. Now, listen, I believe that as well, because I am that kind of person. If I'm not feeling great, it's like, well, after you take the certain days of laying low, it's like, no, I got to get outside. I got to go do something. Or for me, it was like, if you're hungover, like people are hungover and they're like, they don't do anything. I mean, I cannot do that. Like if I can't even tell you the last time I was hungover. I haven't really been drinking that much, but when I wake up hungover, I wake up really early. Jeanna knows this. And I like have this like insatiable desire to like, I have to get ahead of it. I got to get through it like immediately. I got to get up, I get showered, I get ready, and I try and just like, I usually will like go running or do something and then kind of like just power through it.
You try to outrun it.
Yes.
I like to stay in it. I like to just sit in it.
It's like she's in a hot tub.
Yeah. I just want to marinate in it.
You're all marinate in that.
Yeah. Marinating in my hangover.
And I'm looking at my mom and I was like, Mom.
Just in like a pile of Taco Bell.
Seriously. Big old pile of Taco Bell.
Big old pile of Taco Bell.
If any of you are looking for something to spice up your meal prep, you have got to check out Green Chef, especially if you're someone like me that you enjoy making food. You enjoy making dinner, whether it's for yourself or for your family. You just enjoy it. Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company. Green Chef makes eating well easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. Green Chef offers a range of recipes to suit your preference. The last dinner that I made from Green Chef, and has definitely been one of my favorites, is the creamy ancho turkey soup. It is to die for, and you can make it in 25 minutes. Green Chef is convenient and super easy. In this holiday season, choose Green Chef for premium, balanced recipes that support your wellness goals and taste good too. You can choose fast and fit for meals under 700 calories, and they're ready in 25 minutes or less. And now, Green Chef is offering 10-minute lunches. Each week's menu includes 2 convenient, low-prep, and nutritious lunch recipes ready in just 10 minutes. No cooking required. Perfect for when you're on the go or pressed for time at the office. Eat well at lunchtime, too. Go to greenchef.com/reps599. and use the code REPS599 to get $5.99 per meal on your first box. And your first box ships free. Go to greenchef.com/reps599 and use the code REPS599 to get $5.99 per meal on your first box. And your first box ships free. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
I look at my mom and I was like, Mom, I know, like, I agree with you, but I can't. It's like the only way I could try and describe like how I feel. Cause people hear me talk or my cough, like, oh, you sound bad. And I'm like, yes, but like, that's the least of my worries. Like the cough does suck. That's actually come later. You know that when you get sick, there's always like an order of operation. It's like, where does it start? Well, it starts up here. Then it's like, oh God, now it's right here. Let's back up here. Then it's down here. And then it's in here. Yeah. And then it's back here. And then it's back up here. And it just keeps changing. But my whole body feels like, some moments feel better than others. Like I'm lightheaded, but my whole body's lightheaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
you're just fighting something off. My sister, Michaela, has that. And she like never misses work. I mean, she's the one that's like running all these stores, right? Mm-hmm. So she like never misses. So if she misses work, like she has to be like on her deathbed. But the rest of us that are working around her would like her to stay home because we would rather not get sick.
Yeah.
So it's like that weird thing of like, no, I have to be there. And it's like, no, you don't. Like, please just stay home. Because then she came on Friday and she's standing behind me and she's like teaching me how to do something on the computer. And she's coughing into here, but it's like right on the back of my head.
Super spreader.
Yeah. I just stopped her at some point. I go, I'm sorry, but can you not cough on the back of my head? She starts laughing. She goes, I'm so sorry. And so then we went yesterday, we were at a friend of mine opened up this little, they have their own wines. And so they opened up, Sarah and Cody.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah. They opened up their own little wine tasting room in Scotts Valley. So my cousin and Michaela and I went and checked it out. And Michaela's got this scarf on and she still has this, she feels fine, but she's got this awful cough.
Yeah.
And so every time like she starts laughing or anything, she starts coughing, but she's putting the scarf over her face, but the scarf has all these holes in it. And I'm like, dude, it's not doing anything. You're literally just, it's like you're just coughing through a piece of cheesecloth or something. You're like, ugh. I was like, it's not holding anything back. Like,
it'll hold back the big pieces.
Turn your head, please.
Yeah, the chunky parts it's catching.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So gross.
Oh man.
Like, God, you just sound awful. But yeah, we had a little, oh God. Okay. So everyone always asks me like why I don't like bring dates around or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
And it's because my family are a bunch of assholes. Right.
I can attest.
Yeah. So and they love to make fun of me and they love to like make me uncomfortable. So I brought a friend of ours who was just a friend, our friend Nick.
Yeah.
I was like, he and I were going to hang out for a while. And my whole family was going up to my cousin's property. They have like a gun range and a bunch of fun stuff up there and skeet. And so he called and I was like, oh, I go, well, what are you doing tonight? He's like, nothing. I'm like, okay, well, why don't you come and hang out? We're just going to go shoot some guns and like barbecue and stuff. And it's going to be like my kids and like some of my family members. He's like, yeah, okay. So we get up there. Well, some of my cousins' wives are already like hammered. Right. And so they're like, and this isn't at the gun range.
Oh, everyone's like, wait, why?
Yeah, no, they're like up at the house. The gun range is a whole other area, very safe. So I get there. And so apparently throughout the night, poor Nick comes up to me and apparently like every single person has asked if we're screwing.
Oh my gosh.
My kids, my cousin's wife, like every single one. So in the middle of it, I just stop everyone. Like it's loud in there. There's tons of adults in there. And so I just go, excuse me, can I have everybody's attention? Nick and I are not fucking. We are not fucking. We are just friends. Anyway, it was just funny because he texted me yesterday and he was like, well, that was interesting. And then he sends me this voice note. I got to play it for you.
Okay.
That's really good. Cause then I felt bad. I was like, oh gosh, I don't like want to make it sound like I think you're gross or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was like, oh, wait, how do I do this? Can I put this up to here?
No, you put it up to the little microphone that's on your right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like,
attention everyone here at the party. No one's really talking about it, but if anybody's wondering, we are not having sex. He is far too old, established, not a fuckboy, and too nice of a gentleman, I believe. So again, the big dumb animal in the corner and I not having sex. Carry on with your unflavored hamburgers and mediocre food. Next time we'll bring up some hot sauce and spices. Thanks.
God, Nick texted me yesterday. And he just says, he goes, he'll periodically text me. Well, he usually will do this. Like I liked one of his pictures or his stories forever ago.
yeah.
And he screenshots it and goes, hey, a famous babe liked my story. I don't know. I don't want to brag, but I'm kind of a big deal now. And then he texted me yesterday and he goes, can you come to Santa Cruz, please? I want a barbecue for the old crew soon. I told him, I was like, I'll get back.
Oh, he did tell me that. Yeah.
I'll get back there one of these days. I said, I've been spending most of my free time with my dad at the ranch. He goes, oh, I'm aware. I'm needy though. I said, yes, you are. He laughed.
Yeah. Very funny.
I said, I do need to plan a visit. I haven't been there forever. And he said, yes, you do. I'll even make ribs or something.
I know. Yeah. He's been trying to get, or he's like, he asked me that yesterday. He's like, can we just do a barbecue like at your house or my house? But yeah, anyway, I just thought it was really funny. And I was like, this is why I would never, like, first of all, they should know that I would never bring anybody around them. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like if I'm bringing somebody around them, I'm definitely not with them. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been like 5 years. So anyway, I just wanted to share that because I thought that was really funny.
Well, and when you do happen to bring someone around, they kind of screw it up a little bit for you.
Oh, always. Always. Screw it up for you. Oh my God. Yeah. So single forever.
Hey, same.
Well, it's got to be better than being with a loser.
Oh, well,
yeah.
It's the only thing you can tell yourself.
Yeah. Oh, good thing I'm single, so I'm not with a loser.
No, just, well, when you're like single forever, it's like, well, hopefully not. But if so, at least it's like maybe.
Oh, I'm okay. Yeah.
Defending yourself.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
You're over there just marinating in the hot tub of
hungover.
Dude.
I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to be with this.
For myself, I'd say the same thing. And then I think to myself, like, well, I can think of a few reasons. I guess. Yeah, I could change that. Nah, I'm not going to. Maybe I should. I don't know. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today's not the day.
Yeah. Today is not the day.
You guys,
Monday. I'll start Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys have been listening to our show for a long time, you probably realized, let me find this, that we did a rerun last week.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were
all sick.
Really sick. I mean, I'm still really sick, but we were so sick that especially me and Devon sounded awful.
Yeah, you guys sounded like ass.
And when we needed to do one for it to come out, Jeanna was still really sick too, because we had to obviously have it done right when we got back from Nashville, and we didn't have enough time and we sounded terrible. But we did a rerun of the Danae Mercer podcast. Did we not, Devon?
Yes, we did.
And I'm bringing this up because I just saw a post from her. Also, one of our favorite podcasts we had is with her.
Yeah, I love her.
I saw a post from her. And if you guys haven't seen this, it's a New York Post. It's from New York Post, like a website. It says, "Bye-bye booty. Heroin chic is back." Have you seen this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's her basically begging people to realize that, don't let the industry and media and fashion keep trying to make all of us like keep up with the Joneses. Basically, it's like we have, it's a yo-yo, back and forth, these extremes. And, it's always like that. It's up and down and up and down and up, big and small and big and small and curvy and bony and curvy and bony. And it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And not only is it exhausting, I mean, talk about ultimate confusion for your body and probably putting yourself through such weird ups and downs that you're going to end up being extra unhealthy. And we're already relatively unhealthy because of what the government puts in all of our products and our food. So we probably should, we need to ignore what is being deemed as pretty because it is such bullshit.
I like what she says. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no, you're good.
At the very end where it's like, your body is not a trend.
Yeah.
And it's so important to remember that because there's so much out there. I mean, like we all know that there's all these apps and things too now, right? So like they're taking, and Danae shows it a lot on her Instagram where she'll take a picture of herself and then change it. So her waist is smaller, her booty's bigger, and then you have like other people like Taylor Swift who goes on and says, if I'm really like thin, then, I don't have a butt. But then if I try to get a butt, then everyone says that I'm fat because that's the thing is our bodies are not necessarily all meant to be itty bitty waist, big hip, big butt, all of like, we're all shaped completely different.
Yeah.
And it's like, even like these girls that are super thin. Yeah, no, you should never be trying to make yourself thin. But like myself growing up, I always felt super shitty about myself because I was super skinny. And the trend was at the time to be curvier.
Yeah.
So it was like, you can't win. Like no one is ever going to win across the board. No. And we need to have people stop telling us that this is what's attractive.
Well, and obviously it's never going to stop because
no, of course not.
Media and all of that, it's all about getting a rise out of people. That's how you get views. Like,
well, I think
for instance,
women are way too ready and willing to fall into this for men, like to feel attractive to men.
Well, I think that, but honestly, I really think like we obviously want to be desired by men, but I kind of feel like what this is a theory, so this could be wrong. Also, I'm sick, so my brain's not functioning with all cylinders. When we go out, I mean, even when I think about myself, like I always get looked at, right? I mean, I'm quite a bit, I used to be much stronger, but Jeanna has, and Devon experienced it. It's like, Jeanna's seen and heard countless times comments and things being said and whispered about me. And usually Jeanna looks at them and she like,
I try to mad dog them. Yeah. I see you. I see what you're saying.
But like I've experienced times, like remember when we were in Vegas the first time we went, and it's like, there was that group of guys and there were some girls in the group, and the positive or negative response that I was getting, negative, it was being the ringleader are the women, it's not the men. And so I think that because of the whole thing, just the way it's been forever and it's always going to be, people have been talking about, all of this for so long, but it really does come, I think a lot of it can come down to solve the problem. It's more women getting out of the same habitual way of thinking that is destructive to themselves. Because when we are when we're feeling miserable about ourselves, we project that out onto other people too. It's kind of like when you find that you start judging somebody, if we're just talking in the realm of like someone being like prettier than you or more successful than you or has a better car than you or whatever, it's really easy to have it be that like something has to be wrong with this person because they have everything that's better than mine and their life is so much better than mine. And then the truth is this, and we talk about it, we hear it all the time, is like, looking at someone's Instagram does not depict what their real life is. It's fake. It's their snapshots, and people only, because of the algorithm, because of the importance of likes, because of the views, because of all these things, because that's now how influencers are paid, because an influencer has become this job. So everything you put out has to bring in views, likes, comments, all this stuff. So what do we end up doing? You really only are posting stuff that's going to bring that in, because you don't want to post something that's going to make people be like, huh? Or what? Or not pay attention to it, or you get no likes because it's not very
exciting
or like weird or crazy. And so it's like, we all know that it's not real life yet, because of how the role that like social media plays in our world. It's like, we can't get away from it. And then you see something like that, like Danae's post, and it kind of talks about like the Kardashians. Like, how fucking irritating is it that they are still, that's the family that is like the center of it all. Like, why? And it continues to be that way. And it's crazy. It's like, how can, like, and as much as people would want to say, even me thinking this too, right? It's like, no, that's stupid. Like, they're not a family I would want to model any of my life after. Like, literally.
I don't watch it.
Like, I don't watch it either. But stuff that I see and stuff that I know, it's like constant drama.
But we've always put celebrity above everything.
Well, no, 100%.
That's just what.
No, 100%. But it's like, that's why we keep dealing with the same bullshit. It's like even that right there, you could look at Danae's post and be like, oh, that doesn't mean that that's not what's happening. No, that is exactly what it means. Like, it's so easy for us too, to see something like that. Like, she posted this thing because, she's saying that now, curvy's out and heroin chic is back. And she has these posts and pictures of celebrities that you've seen this huge transition, huge, right? And even like comments of like what they're saying or whatever. It's really easy to look at that and be like, well, that doesn't mean, like, just because those people are doing it, that doesn't mean that's what's going to be sold. Yes, that is exactly what it means. And it's like, don't let yourself get blinded. When you see something that's very obvious in front of you like that, and then you think about how everything works, social media, yada, yada, it feels normal to want to say, that's an over exaggeration. Like, even if you're talking to yourself, like, okay, well, don't get carried away. It's an over exaggeration.
Who's saying it's an over exaggeration?
I'm talking about how people could watch a video like what Danae posted and think like, oh, well, that's not where the fashion industry is going.
I mean, it's, yeah.
I mean, all you have to do is look at the fashion industry and the ads and what they're putting out. That is where it is going.
The fashion industry never left heroin chic. You know, I feel like there were new groups put out there, right? Like all of a sudden you had plus size models on the websites, but they never on the fashion, on the runway, like minus maybe a few people, like that's not, and I'm not even looking for that to change. I don't wear fashion show clothes.
The thing is that like, it's okay for all bodies to be represented. What's hard is that when you have a certain body type, and then all of a sudden that's not in fashion. And I think that's what she's saying, is that your body is not a trend. Like these people that are doing these yo-yo things, or like, you know, augmentations or whatever they are doing, if they're doing it to fit within a mold of what somebody else is saying, telling them is beautiful or is in or whatever, then that is the problem. Because it's always going to swing the other direction again.
Well, and I think the biggest problem of it all is the fact that like majority of people, like 99% of people are just like you and me. You know, we don't have trust fund babies. We're not in politics. We don't come from families that are super wealthy. We're not on TV. We don't, you know, I'm not going to say that it's okay for people like the Kardashians to spend the money to go in and have all this stuff done to their body. But now, you know, reverse everything, go back, you know, completely change, whatever. Do I think that's a good idea? No, not necessarily, but like teach their own, that's your money, whatever. Now, the issue is it's like, people can't do that. So when something like this, where you're seeing what's beautiful, right? And you don't even have to say it, like in ads, they don't even have to say, this is what's beautiful now. You can tell by everything they put into a video or a picture. It's the music. It's what are they talking about? What are they selling? It's how they show their body. It's literally, they paint a picture for you. That's why media is so great and also scary, because it can be a beautiful tool and it could be a dangerous sword. And it's like, we just take in what we see, and it's not necessarily saying like, this is what's beautiful now, but you have like young kids, they don't have money. Like you said, we're all built differently. We all have our body. We're just trying to be healthy and fit. Like I'm never going to have an hourglass figure. Okay. Me and Jeanna.
Neither.
Okay. I am straight up and straight down. I know for a fact there are so many things I would love to wear. Can't wear them. Could. But I choose not to, because I want to feel like I look good. I like to feel good in what I'm wearing. I like to feel confident and feel cute and pretty, just like everybody else. But there are certain things, they will never fit me the same way. There are certain stores I cannot shop in because they are not built for my body.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality. But like kids growing up, you know, if they're seeing, and obviously it drives me absolutely crazy. On one hand, and it also doesn't bother me on the other hand. I'll explain. During COVID, I feel like this is when it really ramped up. Every influencer ever that was kind of fit or healthy looking, that had all these followers, what do? Launched a fitness program. They launched a training program. You could train and look just like me. And it's like, first of all,
you're not going to look just like them.
And on top of that, it's like, first of all, just because you're pretty and you do makeup well, that doesn't mean that you should be promoting a training program to the masses.
Right.
Like it took me years before I even agreed to actually do a program, because I wanted to give it all my focus. I want to make sure I had a good team to do it. And I don't believe in just selling somebody what you're doing and making money off of them just doing what you're doing. Cause it's just
there's too many factors to that.
Yeah. And it's shitty. Now,
you and I can do the exact same program and we're going to get completely different results.
Well, I just think that it's irresponsible. Mm-hmm. Health, fitness, you know, exercise, fitness, nutrition, that is a form of, it's like a prescription, you know, and it's not one size fits all. Now the positive that, you know, what irritates me is the amount of people that really have no right to be trainers and selling program. That's annoying. That's also because I come from an industry where I know a lot of people who put their career is to be a coach. It is to make people better. And that's what they research, and that's what they're doing. They're not just like popular and they look good and they exercise and they sell their shit. Now, the part of it that I remind myself of to not be so annoyed by it is the fact that just getting people to exercise more is a plus.
Sure.
That's the positive side. But when you have, young girls, even older women too, because, we're all different, and you see something and maybe there's this constant desire to be desired. And I think that maybe it wasn't always like that, but because of, I don't know when, but I think
it's always been like that.
We want to feel wanted and pretty. And some people, and I feel like young girls, like if you see someone who is clearly, Kardashian, they're doing the yo-yo thing, they're doing whatever it is back and forth, but they have so much money. It's like we talk about it. It's like, yeah, you can have all, we hate when people try and say that they've never done anything, or it's like, no, tell people the truth,
right?
And say, you too can look like this. It just costs money,
right?
You too could get Botox. Oh, I don't have wrinkles right here anymore. Oh, because I get Botox. Yes, I do Botox. You don't have to do it, but I'm letting you know that this is what I do that. And, it just costs money. And there's not enough people that do that part of it. They try and deny it. Like I've seen the picture of Kim Kardashian where it has she goes through and says that she's never had any form of plastic surgery done. She's never done any fillers and never done any Botox or anything like that.
What?
He claims this. And so from TikTok or Instagram, you see different plastic surgeons that bring up the list and they talk about it. And they say, yeah, there's no way, XYZ, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, all you have to do is look at old pictures versus new pictures. I mean, it's so strange to me when people will say that and you're like, you literally have completely different, cheekbones, or you literally have lips, different jawline, you're like, there's so many things you can do and it's fine. But yeah, you should be honest about it, because now you have all these people, I mean, I always think about it. I'm like, as far as this whole beauty is considered, right? What do they think? Some people, as far as what society believes is beautiful.
Yeah.
There are some people that just are blessed. They just come out different.
Yeah. Like Ruby,
I mean,
like my niece,
even Ruby. It's like Ruby's I mean, you're talking about size wise, but Ruby is, got the teeniest little body. And you would think most people would be like, oh my God, she's probably so confident. She hates her body. She wants bigger boobs and she wants a bigger butt. And I'm like, dude, you're so please just appreciate what you have. She hates that her lips are thinner because my lips are larger than hers. I mean, my lips have always been full. This is not from filler, but I have done filler in my lips as they've gotten smaller, but I've always had fuller lips. Her dad has thinner lips. So she's like, yeah, I really want to get my lips done. I'm like, do not do that. Do not do it. Your lips are perfect. You look great. They're all trying to look like this cookie cutter, same exact person. Right. And that's what you see is you see the full lips and the this, and it's everyone's going to just start looking like a weird copy of each other.
Well, and I feel like too, I feel like sometimes some of the procedures that you can have done to enhance or whatever, let's say we'll just talk about your face. Mm-hmm. I wonder if sometimes it really only looks good in pictures, but in person, it might be really weird.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is I feel I mean, we've talked about it before. And again, whatever people do is what they do. What I've chosen to do is things that are starting as we age, you start to shrink. I mean, you just start to kind of
no, they start to fall off the bone.
Fall off. Yeah. And so, to start putting things in there so you can still just look like yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm worried about, and again, that doesn't mean that it's okay that I'm doing it and not okay that other people are doing it. I just worry about people starting to do things too young because I think that they start to look, even older than they are. Does that make sense? It's like when you've seen somebody and you're like, oh, wow, they've done a lot, you know, you automatically assume, for me, I assume that they're older than they are.
Dude, then you have me though, where people were like, you've had your cheeks done. I'm like, no, I haven't. I've literally, you know, it's like you get a picture of me in like not the best lighting one time. And it's like, I have people commenting that said my cheeks are implants, that my cheeks are fake. And I'm like, I have high cheekbones. I have round cheeks. I've had them since I was very little. Like,
yeah,
you know, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that certain procedures are fantastic. I think that, you know, it's a bummer that we always just want, you know, it's what we don't have. And then like, let's talk about like Ruby, or I can even talk about my own niece, you know, Bear, her name is not Bear, but that's what I call her. She had, when she was really young. So my sister, all of her kids have the tiniest mouths, like Lacey's kids. And Lacey's just tiny too. Like she's got the smaller head than all of us. She's shorter than all of us. She's got tiny little feet. Yeah. Yeah. She wears like, I remember like in high school, you know, and even now my mom could buy her like little kid glasses, like sunglasses, because her head was so little. But Bear, they've all had to have like expanders, like go through the whole process of like before braces before braces, and like moving your jaw and wearing the expander and doing all the things. And Lexi's had a lot of things to help her with her teeth. And like she had a underbite. That's where your jaw's forward, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the way it was. Regardless, they've been shifting her jaw, and she is just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. She is gorgeous. And there's certain things about that she hates. Lacey just told me about it. Like she still hates her chin and all these things. And I'm like, man, she's just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. It's like looking at Ruby. She's literally just gorgeous. And
it's so sad because they don't think it.
Yeah.
They don't believe it.
It's so sad. And like, that's where, you know, it's frustrating just us knowing the reality of media. Cause you can't control what an image or a commercial or a story or whatever that's being shown or told, or even if it's a narrative, right? How that's going to be communicated to like the little ones, and how much that can literally maybe subconsciously be something that always kind of makes them wonder, or every time subconsciously they see themselves, they're comparing themselves to an imaginary version of themselves. And it's like,
I think sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think that it even goes deeper than that, because I think you're right. I mean, obviously they're inundated with all this stuff, right? They see all these things all the time, but it also starts at home. And I think that, I mean, I wasn't good at not doing this. I think that as women with our daughters, especially, if we're constantly putting ourselves down, you know, if you're talking about like even just like what we're talking about right now, and our daughters are listening to that talk, you're literally teaching your children. And I definitely did.
Oh no, definitely.
You know, I wish that I hadn't. I wish that I would have thought more about not, you know, going, oh my God, I look fat in these, or, you know, like making things so appearance oriented and being so freely talking. Cause like at some point, cause my mom definitely did it. And so I listened to that. So then I'm, you know, end up being more self-deprecating. And I really wish that I would have known this before. So if anybody out there has small little daughters, try to remember not to break that cycle of not constantly putting ourselves down or talking, you know, about our looks as if they are so important.
Like the most important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's one of the really hard things. And one of the things that I've come to realize about social media and about media as a whole is there is such a focus on appearance and this outward, you know, beauty standard. And there's not a lot of recognition for people, but particularly women's other talents and what other things they bring to the table that make them a beautiful person on the inside. Yeah. Their intellect, their generosity, their whole character. And I think that's one of the things, and it's always been like that, right? It was magazines back in the day. Yeah. And there's this, beauty standard that it completely removes anything from the inside of what makes a person actually beautiful,
right,
and worthy and valuable. And I've done the same thing with my daughter.
Yeah.
And when she was growing up, it was like, oh, these pants make me look fat, or oh, I gotta lose 20 pounds or whatever, and have passed that along to her. And unfortunately, it kind of translated to her being 21. Now she's comparing herself to, these people that she sees on social media. And it's like, wait. There is so much more to you than what size pants you wear.
Right. Right. Oh, for sure. But then it's like, yeah, you can say that to them, but they're like, okay, yeah, whatever, mom.
Right.
Like, you're just as bad.
Right.
So it is important to start, Brooke and I, we do it all the time. It's like, it's really important to not have that self-talk. And I have to like stop myself sometimes. Like, why the fuck does it matter?
Right.
What I look like in my jeans right now? Why does it matter?
Well, and it's funny, it's like, I really wish it were just different. I've met people that I feel like they really have it together as far as their mental game, but then also too, like observing their face and their appearance and their body. And it's like, oh my God, you're like the total package. And
yeah, but see, that's
they probably know
that a lot of people,
what I'm saying is like,
aren't the total package. And what does that mean for them?
But like for myself, it's like, it's funny. Like my sister just had family photos, and so side note, everyone's getting new family pictures. My mom's putting in new pictures on the wall. 1, to get rid of the people that are no longer in our family. 2, because we need new pictures. And I don't have a family besides my family. Right. So my mom's like, everybody needs a new
just
picture.
You by yourself.
Yes. And I don't, they've all like got their cute family photos, and they are so cute. All my siblings have kids. They have the cutest pictures of all their kids. But my sister, aside from the fact that, yes, I'm supposed to get a picture, don't know how I'm going to get one. And I got to get one for me to put on the wall. And I'm like, great.
I just want it to be like everyone's.
Everyone's getting professional, like beautiful family photos. And I'm like, I got nothing. I definitely should just take a snapshot of me just like this.
Yeah, that's like just epic,
But my sister, I was looking at her pictures, and she looks beautiful, and her whole family is just the most beautiful family ever. And there was a pair of pants that she had got for pictures, and they were like I want to say they were maybe like a kind of like a burnt yellow, or like kind of like an autumn color. Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And she didn't wear them. She just wore a pair of her jeans because she didn't feel good in them, and I'm looking at her pictures, and she mentioned it. She goes, I didn't wear the other ones because I just wasn't feeling good. And I was like, you look amazing.
Yeah.
And that is something that it's very hard to remind yourself of, and I almost feel like I try to do my best to remind other people, because I know that it's like, I know that I can't always remind myself, but I do know the reality of the situation is more people need to realize just how beautiful they are. Right. And so I really do try to do that, whether, in conversation or in passing or in random comments to people that I barely even know. But you just don't realize it. It's kind of like we've had this conversation where it's like we spend all this time hating who we are, or feeling bad or feeling ugly or whatever. And then like 5-10 years later, you see some pictures from like, even like a year ago, you see some pictures like, oh my God, I looked great. Like, what was I so mad about? Like, why was I so sad? And it's like, we just spend so much time.
And I think it's even more important, instead of like just constantly reminding each other, it's great to tell people that they're beautiful and try to remind yourself that you're beautiful. But then at some point, isn't it okay to not be beautiful?
Well,
like maybe
bring more to the table.
Yeah. And maybe we just don't need to focus so much and find so much self-worth in what we look like. I mean, sure, we all want to feel like we look good, but at some point, like, is it really that fucking important? It's just not, because we're just, like I've said it a million times, guys, we're all just getting uglier and older. And like, you're not going to find anybody in a fucking nursing home. And I know a lot of people that are younger, they're like, oh, that's so far off. It's like, yeah, I thought so too. It feels like it's right around the corner. Okay. And the thing is that you can, and I'm not saying like, don't take care of yourself. I mean, obviously you want to take care of yourself for longevity and, you know, all this kind of thing, but it's like, there's nobody in the nursing home going, you know, oh man, I think I look bad in my sweatpants. It's like, no, they care about like hanging out with their friends and their family, you know, like,
does this walker make me look fat?
Yeah. Like, I mean, who cares? You're going to have saggy skin. You're going to have, I mean, you know, you can still
saggy balls,
saggy. Yeah. I mean, it's just at some point you just got to go, okay, what is important right now? Like, am I going to be thinking about the fact that my tits are past my waist, or am I going to be stoked on seeing my grandchildren? I don't know. It's just,
and that's what I was meaning too, though, is like, it's not telling people how beautiful they are. Yeah. It's moments when you can help, you can, you know, what people say now is raise their vibration, but make them feel better, like their vibe, how they feel about themselves by who they are as a person, not by
for sure
what they're wearing or what they're doing. But
I think it's great to tell people that they're beautiful too.
This is exactly why me and Jeanna always say, be more funny.
Yeah.
It's like when you're not feeling good, it's like, well, be more funny, laugh through it as much as you can, because it's like, there's nothing else you can do. And the only other option is to let it just dig you deeper and deeper into like a dark, sad depression or a hole that's like even harder to get out of. The only thing you can do to combat all the bullshit coming from all directions that are making you question who you are, what you look like, or if you fit in or if you don't, is to laugh at it, because it is comical, because it doesn't matter. And it's so much easier said than done to say it doesn't matter, because it feels like it matters.
There are definitely times when it feels like it matters, but I will be honest. If I'm in a room with, and you and I've been with you where there's like, very successful people or very beautiful people,
and we're like this,
whatever. Well, no, I mean, but like, I'm never going to feel like I'm less of a viable human.
Yeah, no.
Just because these people are, better looking than me or more fit than me or whatever. It's like, I'm going to go. I mean, I joke about it a lot. Like, yeah, do I want to wear matching bathing suits with 4 bathing suit models? No, I don't. At like 50 years old. Yeah, no. But, people will be like, oh, but Jeanna, you look great. I'm like, I'm not saying I don't look great. I'm just saying, that's a little bit ridiculous for me. 20 years difference, babies, no baby, there's just like a lot of things that are different, maybe I just want to have like the old lady bathing suit.
Yeah. You don't.
Yeah,
I think it's like also, I don't need to remind you this, I'm going to say it just for the listeners, is there are a lot of people out there, maybe some of you that are listening, that would be someone that would immediately start feeling like you're the most important person in the room. And when I say that, I mean that everything everyone is saying or does is like looking at you, right? Like you're the center of the room. And I've felt that way, but the truth is no, everyone has their own shit. Mm-hmm. Some people,
no, for sure. I think
some people are shitty. Some people are shitty and they are doing that. But like majority of the time, like you really could assume the worst, don't assume the best. And I say this because I have had so many times, you guys, even just in my own family, I don't know who all listens to this podcast, so I don't need to cause drama for myself, but a nephew of mine has a girlfriend, and there's been a lot of tension that has popped up, and it's super unnecessary. I've ranted and been very upset because I'm like, I'm 33. I'm not in high school. Like, don't bring high school drama into this house. It's like, I'm 33. And just because, what it turns into is like, and Jeanna's experienced this with me years ago at our own gym. Like all of a sudden it's like, I'm intimidating. I don't like you. I'm, making people feel uncomfortable or insecure. And it's like, I'm not doing any of those things.
Yeah. Those are all on those people.
It's like, no, it's like, if you come over to my house and I don't feel good, or I've got shit going on and I'm not super talkative, you come to my house. I didn't invite you. I'm just here because I live here. Like, if I don't talk to you, it doesn't mean I don't like you. It means that I'm sick, or I don't feel good, or I got a lot of stuff I'm dealing with, or whatever it is. But it's like, sometimes people do tend to, when they feel insecure, and I've been here too, you guys, I'm not calling any of you out without calling myself out. Like, we're all just growing up and learning and trying to become more aware. Okay.
Right.
But some people that you can be insecure, it's like you go anywhere where you're not kind of the star of the show, or in your own group or environment that you are used to, it turns into like, I don't fit in. And that person, she's clearly not, she doesn't like me. And she keeps, and it ends up putting some prejudices or putting some ideas into a situation that aren't a reality, but we create our own reality. So if we continue to be really negative or only see that we're never good enough, that's where we will put ourselves in every situation. Yep. And it's like, but it doesn't have to be that way. And that also goes to say, that doesn't mean that you won't be in situations where people are making you feel less than, because there are people like that out there.
Sure.
But I feel like, I urge everyone to really come back to like what Jeanna said, we're all just getting old.
Yeah. We're all getting older and uglier, guys.
So when we're old and ugly, what are the things that matter the most? It matters who you are, your character, your
family,
your family
you have around you.
It has nothing to do with what size your pants are. It has nothing to do with what brands you're wearing. It has nothing to do with, how tight your skin is or how big your boobs are. All of a sudden it's like, when people are older, what do we like about them? Like, what are our favorite things about like your older aunts and uncles, or your grandma and grandpa? They're funny.
And they don't give a fuck.
They don't care. And they make you feel good.
Yeah.
When you're around them, it has nothing to do with like we don't look at our grandma and grandpa, or our moms and our dads, and judge them for how ugly they are. We don't judge them for like, oh my God, mom, you really need to get in. You even use the moisturizer that I bought you.
Yeah.
We literally don't judge them. We would do anything to just have a few more days with them, who they are. And it has nothing to do with how they look. It has everything to do with who they are as a person and things they've taught you. And you don't learn things from somebody based on how you need to look physically and what your appearance needs to be, like you do learn that from watching media, like what you might like or what you don't like. But what we don't learn from our parents or our grandparents has anything to do with our worth having to do with how we look. If anything has to do with how you look, it's because maybe you're being unhealthy and they care about your health and your body and your longevity. They care about your happiness. They care about you being successful and being self-sufficient and being a good person that people look up to. They want to have you around, and just like you want to have them around, because it's their heart and their soul. It has nothing to do with how they look. So I urge you. And this is a great reminder for myself too. This isn't like a test that you pass, and then once you pass it, you never have to worry about it again. This is something that will constantly be a hurdle throughout our life. Just like us talking about the new thing. We're like, oh, now the heroin cheeks in. It's like, well, we've done that before. It's like, and then it just swings. The pendulum just goes back and forth. So, be more funny, worry about your character, and then just worry about being healthy, and be fit so you can live a long time and you can laugh a lot. But other than that, man, it really is such a waste of time. And I think I say that because when I was competing, and even now, but like way more back then, years ago, without me even realizing it. And a lot of this stems from, I was bullied a lot growing up about my body. So I was taught from a really young age that I was too masculine looking and I had too much muscle, and it wasn't, it must be fake, and it was ugly, and I didn't fit in. So I was, I had a very I had created, there was an idea about how I felt about myself that had nothing to do with my parents, and it was my peers. And I learned that. And it took a very long time for me to overcome that and see myself from a very different point of view, because it was so ingrained in my subconscious, because that is what I dealt with growing up. But it really is such a waste of time to care so much about how we look, because it's not what matters the most. So don't waste any more time. Or at least when you are wasting time, hopefully you can gain some more of that self-awareness and remind yourself of like, man, what really matters? What am I thankful for? What do I love the most about the people that I care about the most? Does it have anything to do with how they look? No, it has to do with how they care about me, our conversation. Maybe it's like they're your favorite teacher, has nothing to do with how they look. Has to do with how they teach, has to do with how they connect with you and help you understand new things, has nothing to do with how they look, and you love them for it. So, hey, on that note, woke up sexy as hell again.
Same. Cheers. Cheers. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah, I got to go to bed.
I got to go back to bed.
Hey, if any of you guys get sick because somehow I'm a super spreader through this microphone, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it's already affecting my Wi-Fi, so it could affect any of you out there.
We could shut anything down.
I'm going to take my pajamas off. I don't even think I brushed my hair. Don't care.
Don't care.
Yeah, don't care. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to
rate, review, subscribe. Yeah, Devon, do it.
Rate, review, subscribe, 5-star warning, 5-star review.
No, you said it wrong.
No, 5-star review,
a rating,
5-star warning.
5-star warning. Great job, Deb.
Okay, thanks. I'll get it next time.
And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.